going on.
Thank you so much.
Feel like $1 million.
Shout out TMZ, you up?
Let me check out that rig.
TMZ stands for the Mayweather Zone.
How'd you find me, bro? I got my disguise on.
I love my TMZ family.
Welcome to TMZ Sports and Babcock here. We're going to start with a story that has rocked not just the Dallas Cowboys, but the entire NFL. A 24-year-old, really promising defender for the Cowboys is gone, is dead at just the age again of 24 after what was just a crazy and a puzzling incident last night into early this morning in the Dallas, Texas area. Now, the player is Marshawn Kneeland, again, in his second year, just 24 years old. Actually, a guy who, if you watched Monday Night Football, recovered that blocked punt and scored a touchdown. And to go from, Lucas, just a couple of days ago, this great moment for him, right? I mean, how many defenders scored touchdowns? Doesn't happen. For him to have that moment in that big Monday Night Football game in front of the country, and then to be sitting here today and for him to be gone, it's just, it's shown almost too shocking. Unfortunately, it is real. So here's what we now know. Last night, about 10:39 p.m., police in Frisco, Texas, received a call asking for help from the Texas Department of Public Safety. Now, they said that they had tried to pull somebody over, which we later learned was Kneeland. They try to pull this car over. The car flees. They momentarily lose Kneeland's car, only to find the vehicle a few minutes later on the side of the road crashed. It had been in an accident, but there was no driver. Kneeland had seemingly fled from the vehicle after it crashed, and he was missing. Police, and there's a bunch of them that are out there at the time then, Lucas, police set up a perimeter. They launch drones. They have the canine dogs trying to find the scent of the person. Ultimately, almost 3 hours goes by, and they were using a drone that had some sort of heat sensor. They found what they thought was a person inside a portable toilet in that vicinity. It was Marshawn Kneeland. Sadly, he had seemingly taken his own life with a self-inflicted gunshot wound, and obviously at that point there was nothing that anybody could do. So you were started with what either would have been a ticket or maybe an arrest, with him not being with us anymore today. Now, to make this even more sad, I don't know if that's the right word, Lucas, his family had been calling the police and expressing fear or concern that he may do something to hurt himself.
Right. So let's take a step back here.
Yeah.
All we knew to begin with was that Marshawn Kneeland had passed away. And that's when we got to work to figure out more of the details surrounding this tragedy. And what we did is we obtained some police dispatch audio that put some pieces together. And it started with his girlfriend reaching out saying, look, this is someone who has dealt with mental struggles in the past. I know he is harmed, and I know he has said some things like saying goodbye to the family, some really tragic, gut-wrenching details here. But it helps paint the story that everyone was trying to do whatever they could to save him in this moment, and they knew that he was in danger. And we're going to play the audio for you right now.
We're talking to the girlfriend. She's trying to call his agent, but we're trying to get him to call him first. But she's saying he is armed and has a history of mental illness, and her quote was, "He will end it all."
They just received a text from him, a group text from him saying goodbye. They're concerned for his welfare.
We have a lieutenant calling in from Plano advising that the NFL is calling Plano PD, and the subject is texting his family goodbye.
So, Mojo, I mean, you hear it right there. I can't ever remember a situation where in real time the team, the Cowboys, and the NFL were involved, and they were actively involved in trying to get in touch with him and trying to figure out what was going on. As time passes and the authorities and everybody is trying to figure out where Marshawn is, Mojo. And you heard the dispatch. The dispatch is essentially it's the dispatch. It's the authorities then talking to the police. The dispatch are the ones that are receiving the call from the family, from the girlfriend, and the girlfriend said, "Hey, he's armed and he's saying goodbye." Obviously, at that point, the fear really was, okay, this guy is going to do something to hurt himself. And it seems like that's sadly what happened.
Man, this is just such a sad story. You know, it's crazy to think of where we were just a few days ago, right?
Yeah.
Monday Night Football, scores a touchdown. I mean, as a defender, especially as a defensive lineman, that is literally the #1 absolute dream, best possible thing that you can accomplish on a football field, and happens almost never. I mean, I never had one of those in my entire career, and I played football for a long time. And then you fast forward a few days later, and here we are, and it just kind of goes to show you that despite what you think a player is going through, and despite how well you might think his life is going playing in the NFL, a second-round pick, a guy that's balled out and has a huge game on a primetime spot, you never know what's going on behind the scenes. Because you said it, while all of this was going on, I mean, this is a guy that was suffering from severe mental health issues, and his family knew about it the entire time, which of course really rough for the family too, because you obviously love your family member, you want to do everything for them. You know, how do you go about handling this, especially when this is a guy who is actively playing in the NFL at the time, and you got an entire franchise and fan base that are seemingly relying on him? I mean, what an impossible situation to be in. It's just really sad, you know, for a guy that has so much going for him to feel like he's in a place where he has no help and there's no escape, and he does something like this. You know, in sports teams, they usually have people whose full-time jobs are to try and help out the players and maintain their mental health. But at the end of the day, you really have no idea what anyone's going through, which is why it's always important to check in on your people, check in on your family, seek help if you need it whatsoever, whatever means you got to do, like reach out to people and rely on them. But overall, man, just what a sad story.
Yeah, it is, Mojo. Obviously, in wake of the news, many people, NFL stars, teams, I mean, the league have expressed condolences. Russell Wilson, Micah Parsons, and a lot of other people across the league that knew Marshawn have expressed condolences. Tremendously sad story, and rest in peace. Coming up next on TMZ Sports, Antonio Brown back in the United States and in custody, facing an attempted murder charge from that incident back in May at that Aiden Ross charity boxing event. We'll give you all of the details. That's next on TMZ Sports. Welcome back to TMZ Sports. Antonio Brown is back stateside and is in custody of authorities, and he is facing attempted murder charges, Lucas. So Antonio Brown, of course, has been not in America, not in the States. He has been in Dubai, seemingly attempting to avoid the reach of the American justice system. All goes back, Lucas, to that mid-May incident at Aiden Ross's boxing event, influencer boxing event in Miami, where Antonio Brown was accused of attempting to shoot and kill somebody, a guy that he previously had a relationship with. Antonio and the guy had a falling out, and they allegedly had beef, and then they both meet each other at this event, and one thing leads to another, and next thing you know, AB has got a gun in his hand. Now, we know that happened, Lucas, because we've got video of the incident. As a matter of fact, you're seeing some of that video right now. Antonio Brown talked to police that night. They ultimately let him go, only then to issue an arrest warrant. But because he was not here, he could not be placed under arrest. Dubai, the United Arab Emirates, Lucas, they extradite him. So federal agents fly with Antonio back to New York City. He touches down in New York City. He is handed over from the feds to the local police. And now the local police are transferring him back to Miami, where he's facing this very serious felony charge.
You know, and it's been a while since we have talked about this. A lot of people have forgotten about it, and I'm sure Antonio Brown was hoping that was going to be the case, but law enforcement is not going to let this kind of thing slide. And it's very odd because Antonio Brown, he has that presence on social media. Whether he runs the accounts or not is another story, but he has always been lighthearted, silly. I'm sure he thought that with enough time, maybe this would just disappear. And there's just no way around this, especially when there's video footage like this. But it's just interesting to see where we go from here. He did claim at the time that, look, I was just defending myself. I was the victim here.
Oh, is that what he's saying? He's saying, hey, this is not me being the aggressor, it's the other way.
Right. That's his side of the story, and we gotta hear him out on that. But it'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
Well, I guess now the courts are gonna figure this one out, fellas, because yes, he is in custody, extradited from Dubai. What a thing that is. I don't know. It's hard for me to want to say self-defense here when you go sprinting after somebody with a weapon like that. So not entirely sure how that one's going to play out. I can't imagine either that prior issues are going to help him out when he gets in front of a judge. So, I mean, look, we probably have a good idea of where this thing has headed. And the last thing I'll say here, Lucas, guarantee any money in the world he's not running that social media account.
That's CT ESPN. He has become pretty famous for that account. This is really serious, though. This is a charge that, if ultimately convicted on, you could be facing decades in prison. So a ton on the line for Antonio Brown. He hasn't been convicted. Lucas gave you his side of the story. We'll see if it holds up in court. A scary scene at Erik Spoelstra's house in Miami. The very latest on the fire at the multi-million-dollar home of the Heat head coach when TMZ Sports comes back right after this. Welcome back to TMZ Sports. A crazy and a scary incident for Miami Heat head coach Erik Spoelstra last night into early this morning. His house in Miami just absolutely ablaze last night, early this morning. Now, thankfully, nobody was hurt, and that's the bottom line, most important thing here. As a matter of fact, Erik was with his team in Denver. They played the Nuggets. They lost to the Nuggets. They were traveling back home, so he was not there. As you can see, I mean, this fire was huge. It was out of control, and it pretty much took the entire structure down before the fire officials could get this under control. Now, again, most importantly, nobody was hurt here, Mojo, but this is a situation I would imagine that this house is just going to have to be completely knocked down, wiped out, and rebuilt here because that was a bad fire.
Well, luckily, number one, nobody was hurt.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's number one by a mile. Number two, and not to make light of a situation, but luckily, this guy can afford a new home too, because if he couldn't, that would make this situation a lot worse. I believe he's been with the Heat as a coach since 1997, head coach since 2008. So he and Miami go hand in hand. I mean, literally, not just physically his home, but mentally, emotionally, he's connected to the city in literally all the ways. Having your home burned down while you're away from home, it's just, man, that's got to be even scarier of a situation because you're not even there. You have no control over the situation. You have no control on even how you handle this situation. You just have to wait and hear what happens. I mean, shoot, even if he heard about it while he's going on, he's got to go coach a game. It's not like he can skip the game and fly home and attend to, his family and his things. It is what it is. So, tough life when you're in a position like that. But man, what a scary moment. That fire was massive. I mean, look how big of a flame that is. I mean, there's got to be no coming back for this home, but I'm sure he has fantastic insurance. And even if he didn't, of course, he could afford a new home. That doesn't change the fact that this is really rough. There was probably priceless
right,
possessions
good point,
in there.
Mojo. Right.
Yeah, losing everything at home. I mean, the money is so far secondary, especially to a guy like that at this point. So, man, what a terrible thing.
Yeah, right. He's got all the money in the world to replace the material things, but some things are priceless. I will say this too, Mojo. The fire officials said that they had a difficult time getting the fire under control, especially initially, because one, there's a wall, there's a privacy fence around the property, and there's also a lot of trees, which made it very hard for the firemen to access the fire from a bunch of different places. So they were sort of stuck fighting the fire from one stationary location, and that made it even all the more difficult to get under control. Again, bottom line, nobody was hurt. The house can be rebuilt, but what a scary scene.
Moving on to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Babcock's gone, so of course we get to talk about my favorite team. But Donovan Mitchell led the Cavs to a win over the Philadelphia 76ers. Easy work Wednesday night, 132-121 victory. And yeah, Mitchell, Spida, he had 46 points. Absolutely great game from him. In those Navy throwbacks, what beautiful jerseys from the early LeBron era. Chef's kiss. But Mitchell talked about it after the game, why he wanted to drop more than 40 points. And it turns out it was actually because of what someone told him when he was playing on the sticks online.
I wouldn't put the game that I had based on the court. This kid pissed me off today. I was playing 2K. I've been playing 2K for like 2 hours, and I told him too. I was like, wait, just wait. And he just called me washed up. He called me a bunch of things, but I love it. You know what I mean? He said he ain't seen a highlight from me in a minute, and I just told him, all right, we'll see. He said, tell me to go to sleep. Like he was going in. So this game was for that kid or grown man, whoever that was. But so I appreciate you. I told him I'd give him a shout out too. So that's what tonight was.
Shout out to that player, that opponent. I'm sure everyone in Northeast Ohio is thanking him. But Mojo, what do you make of a player admitting, look, I'm going to let this get to me, or I have something to prove to someone who is hundreds of miles away?
Let me just get this straight, Lucas. So Donovan Mitchell is playing video games, the same video game of the league in which he actually plays in real life, and some guy, kid, adult, whatever, is talking trash to him, and he took it so personal he went out there and took it out on Philly. Like, I'm getting this right?
Yeah.
If so, that is fantastic, and I love every single bit of this. I don't know if he like revved himself up in his own mind, like he wasn't actually that mad, but he just kind of used it as a jump off point, or maybe there was enough of them that took it personal enough where he used it as motivation. But I absolutely love this, and I can't say that I'm overly surprised by it. Like, there's a lot of people that are motivated by trash talk, others insulting them, just kind of like that negative sentiment, that negative aura, somebody like really getting under your skin, and you use that. I mean, that's how I was. I always played great when I had the guy on the other line of the scrimmage chirping in my ear and talking trash. Like, that always made me escalate my game to another level. Can't say that I ever had a situation where that happened via playing video games, but I know people get really touchy over their video games as well. So I don't know, maybe that was even more personal to him. But I love that he was able to tap into somewhere really special, drop 46 points, put the team on his back, deliver a big win, all because of video games. Now I think if you're Cleveland, you got to make sure he travels with 2K everywhere he goes. Maybe you hire actors to play against him and really talk trash to him so that he can unlock this mindset before every single game. Because if so, then you're definitely winning the NBA Finals. If he can play like that every game, that's lights out, game over. So yeah, this one made me laugh. Had to watch it a couple of times because I was cracking up and wanted to make sure I completely understood what was happening. But yeah, this is my story of the day for sure.
Mojo, I'm going to put my tinfoil hat on real quick. Your NBA 2K27 cover athlete is going to be Spida Mitchell. Let him know.
Up next, Travis Kelce goes on a bye-week dinner date with Taylor Swift in New York City. The couple goes home with leftovers and all when TMZ Sports returns right after this.
On the TMZ Celebrity Tour, we've seen huge stars like Kevin Hart, Ben Affleck, The Rock, and Jamie Foxx. Buses depart daily from the Hard Rock Cafe in Hollywood, so head to TMZTour.com and book your tickets for the TMZ Celebrity Tour.
Welcome back to TMZ Sports. Babcock, Lucas. Travis Kelce doesn't have a game this week. The Kansas City Chiefs are on their bye week, Lucas. So what do? You grab the old fiance, a.k.a. Taylor Swift, and you head to New York City for some R&R. That's exactly what the world's most famous couple did. They went to the very exclusive Polo Bar, Lucas, for some dinner, and they even took some doggy bags home. I'm surprised. I didn't think they would do leftovers.
Why not?
Because they're like super rich. They're wealthy. Real wealthy people don't do leftovers.
Maybe they enjoyed it. Maybe the Polo Bar's got some really great grilled cheese or something.
I was a waiter back in the day, and Don Cheadle was one of my guests, and he asked for a doggy bag. I said, "Oh wow, okay, he's a pretty big celebrity. He's gonna take his food home," and then he handed it to me on the way out and gave it to me.
That's dope. You got Don Cheadle's food.
You think I'm going to go home and eat somebody else's leftovers?
I would.
Come on.
If it was a steak?
No, and Shannon asked me if I still have it. No, I didn't have it. I threw it right away in the garbage.
Let's not, here's the thing. Chiefs bye week, yeah, the season's not going great right now, but
it's going okay.
Maybe go somewhere else outside of New York. They're there all the time. You know, Taylor's from around there, or lives around there. Like, maybe go to Mexico or something for a few days. They have the time.
I was going to make a political joke, but I'll just take a pass here. Before the socialism kicks into effect, got to get one more trip to New York City. Just kidding. They like the city. She has a place there. Obviously, she hangs out in New York City a lot. We've seen her there frequently with her friends. So I don't know if he's a big New York City fan or not, but we know Taylor is, and I think she's the boss. So they will have fun. He will return home. They've got practice next week, and we'll see. Second half of the year here, we'll see how the Chiefs do. It's been a mixed bag so far this season.
They're going to be fine.
Can they get back on track? Don't be surprised if they're in the Super Bowl in a couple of months here. But we will see. They had a good time. Hope the leftovers tasted good. Have a good night, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
I'm a lawyer.